All right, let's dive right in. Today we're going to talk about the single most important, the absolute first step in learning to write in English. Seriously, it is the key that unlocks everything else, and you know what? It's probably a lot simpler than you think.
So let me ask you something. How do you really unlock a new language? I mean, when you're just starting out, staring at that blank page, where do you even begin? What's that one thing you have to get right?
This is it. It all begins with just one simple sentence. It's not about writing complicated essays or knowing a bunch of fancy vocabulary. Nope. The entire journey to becoming a confident writer, it starts right here, with the power to form one clear, complete thought.
Okay, so let's call this our first building block. But why? Why is this one little skill so important? Why does basically every language expert on the planet agree that this is the real starting line?
Well, because this isn't just some helpful tip I came up with, it's actually a global standard. For any beginner learner, we're talking from the very start, mastering the simple sentence is your first major win. It is the exact moment you go from just knowing a few words to actually communicating a real idea. So knowing it's important is one thing, right? But what exactly is a simple sentence? Let's get into the anatomy of it. Let's break it down into its most essential parts.
You know, the best way to think about this is like building with Legos. To make anything that can actually stand up on its own, you need at least two essential bricks, right? Well, in English, those two bricks are the subject, that's the who or what we're talking about, and the predicate, which is just the action part. You snap those two together, and voila, you've got a complete thought.
It really all comes down to a super simple formula. You start with a subject, something like the cat, then you add a verb, like sleeps. And what's the result? The cat sleeps. That's it. A complete, totally understandable idea. It's so beautifully simple when you think about it. Now, to build these sentences over and over again, every single learner needs a toolkit. It's not just about knowing that formula. You've got to have the right skills to actually use it. So let's open up that toolkit and see what's inside.
Okay, 4 things you absolutely need. First up is grammar. That's the blueprint, knowing how to put the subject, verb, and object in the right order. Then you need vocabulary, the actual words for stuff you talk about every day. Next, punctuation. Think of these as the traffic lights of writing, capital letters to start and periods to stop. And finally, content, just being able to come up with your own simple ideas. Get these 4 down and you are ready to go.
All right, so we get what a simple sentence is, and we've got our tools. But how do you actually learn to do it? Let's walk through the proven step-by-step path that takes you from just watching to doing it all on your own.
It all starts with modeling. That's where you just watch a teacher or an instructor do it. Then you move on to guided practice, where you get to use helpful templates to build up some confidence. After that, things get a little more fun with interactive exercises, like describing a picture or unscrambling words. And then, before you know it, you're at the final step, independent practice. You're writing on your own, in a journal. It's a really clear path to getting there.
Okay, this next part is maybe the most critical question of all. How do you know when you've actually mastered the skill? Because it's not just a feeling. It turns out there's a really clear, measurable target. I mean, this is the big question, right? For learners, for teachers, when can you confidently say, okay, I've got this, and feel ready to move on to the next big challenge? And the answer might surprise you. It's a number. 80%. That's it. That's the success threshold. It's the clear line in the sand that separates I'm still learning from I've got this. Now, what's so smart about this number? Why 80%? Well, because it shows that you have a consistent, repeatable skill, but it doesn't demand perfection. Nobody's perfect. It means you can do it right most of the time, and that is the absolute sweet spot for building real confidence and moving forward. And this table here, it breaks down exactly how that 80% is measured. It's not just one thing. They're looking at the whole picture. Is your sentence structure complete? How's your grammar and punctuation? Is your vocabulary relevant and spelled correctly? And maybe most importantly, can you do it independently? Can you write at least 5 sentences all by yourself? It's a really complete picture of what mastery looks like. Let's look at a super simple example to really nail this down. If you write, she plays, well, that's a fragment. It's got a subject and a verb, but it kind of leaves you hanging, right? Plays what? But if you write, she plays football, boom, that's a complete thought. We get the full picture. That one extra word makes all the difference.
And here's the really cool part. Once you've got that basic structure down, you can create all kinds of sentences. You can state a simple fact. The apple is red. You can express something you don't like. I do not like rain. You can ask a question. Do you live here? Or make a simple description. The cat sleeps. See? You get so much versatility from this one foundational skill.
And if you take away just one thing from all this, please let it be this. Mastering the simple sentence isn't the final destination. Not even close. It is the launchpad. It's the solid ground you absolutely need to stand on before you can take a leap into more advanced writing.
I mean, just look at this progression. It's like climbing a ladder. You can't get to step 2, building longer compound sentences with words like and or but, until your feet are planted firmly on step 1. And you for sure can't write a whole paragraph until you've mastered both. Every single step builds on the one before it.
This quote really says it all perfectly. Success here is a precursor. All that means is that it's the thing that has to come first. It's the non-negotiable prerequisite for everything else. This is where real writing confidence is born.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question. A challenge, really. You've got the blueprint, you've got the tools, and you know the path. The only thing left to do is to start building. So, what's the first sentence you're going to write?